Well, a once bothersome task has become easier. You can now apply and pay for your vehicle license disc online. That means avoiding those long, annoying queues at the post office. Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula announcing this a bit earlier today. He joins us now in studio to talk about the changes. This is something that people have been asking for years. How are you making it possible right now to also make sure that there's no fraud, etc., when it comes to applying online?
The system has been piloted because we in government, we do like to just launch and do all sorts of things before we test whether the system can work. It has been piloted between the private sector, the people who are working with. In particular, our biggest partner is F&B, because there are things we need to learn from the private sector that they do so well that can assist us to move faster on a whole range of issues. This is one of them. So how we gonna, it's gonna be closely monitored. And then where there are teething problems that have been identified in the pilot project, we're already, in terms of the implementation, as of today, we are in a position to fend those off.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was obviously a reason why people had to go to a post office with your ID to go and apply for your disc to be renewed. Tell me about how all of those processes that were there are still going to be in place with an online application.
You are coming close to natives with your, so it's a very tight thing from a security point of view. It is even much more easier than standing on the queue. You talk about companies and all of that, renewing discs for vehicles and all of that. It's a very detailed arrangement, and it will do away with the queues in the long term. And then, but from a security point of view, it is very, very tight. In terms of the system itself, as it has been demonstrated today when we're launching.
So you go online and you do it. What's the website, etc., for people to actually
www.transport.gov.za. That's where you go in terms of the application, and you will also get the directions from there for information for people who want to apply online.
And the grace period, etc., the 30-day grace period, does that still apply now with this online application?
The grace period does apply, but it will actually be something of the past in terms of helping the motorist to be able to be quicker and faster in terms of application online.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the other systems in place, because you talk about making services available sooner for South Africans, because it's been a frustrating process when it comes to booking online to get your driver's license renewed, etc. Where are we in terms of streamlining everything so that it's no longer a headache? Because people take lunch breaks to go get things done, but then they have to take a whole day off because of the long queues, etc. When can you say we're going to have a system in place for motorists to say, I can do this online for everything? How is that going to work?
Shahan, if you are following my story and the story of my department, I set a bouquet of interventions on the driver's license regime. Key, it is IT. I'm on top of it, and I told you that before March, we'll get this off. We wanted to do it on Valentine's Day, but we didn't want to disturb anybody. Today we got that off the ground with all elements that go with it. And then it's going to be exciting. Our vision is that to get a driver's license shouldn't be a nightmare for a South African. Should be the easiest of things to do. It must be incorruptible. It must be easy, something that to get. To me and our government, that is service delivery we are chasing. And so we are going bit by bit. And at the end of the year, when we look back from where we are going now, you will ask me, how far are we? We'll be very far.
Yeah.
We'll be very far. And you will ask me, how far is the payment point? In terms of applications, we'll be very far. I told you that we're going to fight the backlog. In terms of renewal, You go to Waterfall. I'm still saying to people, come, Centurion. We're rolling out throughout the Republic. It's like getting to ShopRite for a ticket of Justin Bieber. In less than 10 seconds, you are off the line. That's what South Africans are experiencing this time around. And we are sick and tired of complaints of Langlaagte and all of that. I'm working with the provinces, cooperative governance, and that is what we're doing. No more slogans. Let people have perceptions. We've got to push back the perception that everything we touch is a mess.
Yeah.
We can do it. You are going to get 2023 a new driver's license card. I'm fighting the backlog, doing away with the old. When the new comes, you are going to even see, you know, very good standards, security-wise. No more one machine. My task is, Mr. Fix-It, is to do what others started. They could not finish because of reshuffle. My job is to cross the line.
There's another reshuffle?
Of course, this department has had people reshuffled, no DG for some time.
Yeah.
And then it was a department that did not have permanent people in permanent positions. You can go and check. So it is known that it's a fly-by-night. You know, it's a weekend special. You have a minister, he doesn't finish, next week he comes, the other one comes. The things I'm doing today are things that my predecessors. I remember Blade when he was giving me a handover, he was really feeling it. But most of the things he took over from Maswanganyi, including the Uber regulation, the public transport things and all of that. Maswanganyi took over from Ben Martens from SWU, Dipuo Peters. I think our job is to finish the race because transport is the backbone. And we're doing exactly that. And it's coming together nicely.
Okay, so hopefully you're no weekend special, right? Because that's what the lyrics says.
Yes, if I am, I mean, the point is the implementation plan, it is there. But we would like in the 6th administration, as the president says, and the ANC would like us to see doing, let's cross the finishing line. Let the people, what we promised them in our manifesto in 2024, let's go to them and say, driver's license is not a problem. Sorted.
Let's talk about
that's what
the
people want to see.
Regarding the driver's license, the renewals. That machine's back, this one machine that everybody talks about. March was set as an extension deadline for people who couldn't get it done. Are you considering extending that now, given how this is working so far? Because the machine came back and you have a huge backlog, right? How far are we in getting rid of that backlog?
We are working very hard day and night. I demonstrated to you the machine, how it works. It's not a photocopying machine, very small. It's big. That machine was inaugurated in 1998 by Meg Maharaj, you can imagine. And then we have started the process now of getting into it. Probably we are among the last 13 countries that still have that machine. But the problem of that machine was not major. It does have breakdowns, but this was blown out of proportion. It has been fixed. We are working very hard to do away with backlog. We are producing 400,000 cards per week. I mean, not per week, per month. Okay. And per week we produce 100,000. And we think that by April we'll have done away with about a backlog of 2 million people. It will take us somewhere. It's not on our agenda to extend. Hence my call to all people, go and renew your driver's license and be on the queue to get your driver's license card. There will never be another window. Remember, we are going to...
But you can't relook at it.
Yeah, but we are going to normality now. Remember, we like Shahan to speak like as if there was no COVID, among others. Now we are going to a period where everything is going to be normal. Maybe the disaster will be away. And the president have explained in the State of the Nation that we will want to do away with that, but there are certain tenants we are looking at in terms of health protocols, so that we don't go back we don't go backward. But we want to do away with when that is done away with in terms of the disaster. Every system we've got, we should be able to roll with regard to the driver's license backlog in the country.
All right, one last question, and if we can get this on our video wall, Mr. Fix-It, when are you fixing the potholes? Because we're still dealing with this issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, the potholes, you would have seen a marvelous program here in Gauteng by Minister MEC Mamabulu. You are going to see more. This coming week, next week, I am going to give you a plan of action. I'm a man of talk, of action and fixing. I see what the people are talking about. It's not for me to argue with you. Even my wife this morning got a puncture because of a pothole. So I know what people are talking about. I had a brilliant program here in Johannesburg with the previous administration. But as I built on this action with the private sector of closing potholes, even at the local level, because this is a concurrent function, with all the resources I have now, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to give you a plan of action to say where there are potholes, where are they, and why should they not be fixed. Let's not talk. Let's just implement this because we've got the money to fix them.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I'll ask you about this at a later stage. And like you told Tito Mboweni, don't have amnesia when I ask you about it. Right?
Of course, Tito Mboweni is my big brother, but I don't like the way he does things, as though he was never a Minister of Finance. He knows our problems, including about e-tolls, why we are where we are today, what are our headaches. So he must help this country. Yeah, he must not become a commentator. You can become a commentator. It's okay.
Thank you so much. I need to speak to you about e-tolls, but we have to do it another time.
You will do that maybe after the budget speech.
Yes.
He might have talked about it or not, but please, I will be back and talking about e-tolls. There's no retreat. People need answers, and we can't run away from issues. We need to give them the truth. Yeah. And that's how we govern. Like Ramaphosa, our president, says, we are a government that does not run away from difficulties.
Okay, I'll talk to you there next week. Thank you so much for your time. Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula.